Welcome, welcome, welcome. Lower down. We're going to start with our hands underneath our head and start with some crisscross, some abdominals. If this is not for you, you can leave your head down or you can do some bridging, but we'll get those abs warmed up and then pull your toes back. Exhale. So you're still doing a crisscross if you can. A modification would be leave the feet down or do bridge or leave the head down. And then let's do one more set of points for 10. Belly in. Inhale. And then exhale, let your head down and curl up into bridge. Do 5 bridges where you wake up your back. 4. Beautiful. 3. 2. Now at the top, you can add a little 1-inch or 2-inch pulse. So we'll take 10 pulses in the high position. Now let the knees touch and do 10 pulses in the high position, internal rotation. Now let the knees open and do 10 pulses in the high position, external rotation. Now let the feet be knees over the heels, lift up a leg. You're going to point those toes and do 10 little pulses with your hips up and down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Keep that leg in the air, pull those toes back and do 10 little pulses. We're doing the glute hamstring here. Now let that right foot down and take your other leg up. Your left toes are going to point. 10 little pulses. Keep breathing normally and pull the toes back and continue with 10 more pulses. Good, that a girl. And then, Jean, we're going to stretch it out. Let your left foot down, lower your spine, take your hands to your feet or your ankles, whatever you can hold on to, and stretch. I'm going to add a little rock right and left. 5, 4. Good, and we're going to go right into a single straight leg stretch. So one leg's up, one leg's down. Now you can lift up, shoulder blades off the mat. We'll take 20 of these, pull one leg in, and a modification would be either 1 or 2 hands behind your head. So you can add a toe pull back on this for 10 more. Good. 6, 7, and you can do the abs if you want, Polly. Does that work? Can you see? Oh, your screen might have frozen. 4, 3, 2, and then rest your head to the floor, hands to the inner ankles, and let the knees go wide. 5. This is a bound angle. I like to add a little rock here too. 5. You're welcome to. 4. Good. 3. Gets the hips a little better, huh? 2. Inhale. And then exhale. Great job. So feet on the ground, lift up into bridge. Now this time take one leg and go vertical and then go towards the floor. So do leg pulls, work that ankle. You're in a single hamstring bridge. There you go, Polly. You missed all those abdominals. 4, 3, 2. Now let that foot come back down and then let's take the other one. So single leg bridge, but what you're doing is point and flex, and really reach. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then that foot comes down, lower. All right, you did it. Now this time the legs come up, hands behind your head. Put those last 2 supine abs together, rotate so that it's like you're doing a crisscross with that single straight leg stretch. So you're rotating your torso while your legs still do the scissors. Now pull your toes back for a set of 10 more. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then recover. Now, one hand per knee, move the knees in little circles. So maybe 3 to 5 each way. There you are. 2. Yep, I don't know why yours is breaking. That's it. And then lower the spine. Now we're going to lift up the legs. This is called double leg. And you're going to put your hands behind your head. Now you can do a modified with the head down and just move the legs a little towards the floor and up, or lift up the shoulder blades and then add the legs. You can add a flex and a point, so you're working your abs. Good. 2, 3, hip flexors. 4, 5, 6, 7. Good. Lift. 8. Good. 9, 10, let the feet down and lift up and take bridge. Now this time with our hands, we're going to go overhead, stretch out the arms. 5, lift the hips. 4, 3, 2, lower the spine. Now double leg stretch. You're going to hug your shins. I'll show you modified. Arms up, legs up, catch the legs. A little harder, legs further away, arms further away, catch. Now the next one, come up in your torso and you stay up. One more modification could be that your hands are behind your head and you just open your elbows. So I'll show that here. Good. All right, take 4 more of whatever you're doing. 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice job. Right ankle to left thigh. Open up that hip. I'm going to add a rock and a movement of the ankle. Favorite. This is a great stretch. 10. Release all the tension in your body with an exhale. And then let's hit that other side, ankle to thigh. Here we go. Reach your hands through. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Really, yeah, ankle movement, toes, rock, and the legs are going to be in the air and bicycle. If you bicycle further away from you, it's harder. If you bicycle in close and little, it's easier. So if you want to make it a little harder, come up 5 times. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome job. Grab a sip. Woo, good job. Other side of our body, planking. You're going to put your forearms down and energize through the knees. So here we are. Good. That's great. Hold there. And you're making sure your head doesn't draw to the floor. Your scapula are broad. Your knees are strong and long. Heels point straight up. Yep, that looks good. 5, 4, 3, 2. And then rest your pelvis. Here you are in Sphinx. If you'd like to add on, go up to Swan. Hands is harder than forearms. Just do what you need. 10. Nice. Now this time we're going to add an isometric hold. So go to plank like before, but pretend that you want to pull your forearms to your toes and your toes to your forearms. And that'll add on some intensity. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and lower your hips. Either do Sphinx or Swan. Ooh, looks good, guys. 10, 2, there you go. 3, 4, 5, 6. We must have worked abs a little bit yesterday. My abs are a little sore. How about y'all's? Take an inhale, lower down. Now we're going to do this one more time. This time, though, we're going to shift forward and back. So go to your forearms and your toes and then shift forward and then drop back to your heels. Forward and back. 3, 4, 5. Good. 6, 7, 8, 9, and then rest your hips. Now add on the hands. Oh, if you would like, you can do Swan, but if you need to stay with the forearm, you can. 5. Woo! Oh, that worked. And then go to a child pose either with your toes under or your feet flat. So you can do that. You can even bend the elbows and pat yourself on the back. So hold 5. Nice. All right, go to those side planks. Here we go. Elbow down. And I think I told you the other day that a 2-minute plank was one of those standards for, it said fit 20-year-olds, which doesn't seem right. But anyway, so we do our minute standard every now and then, but we'll be working our way up to testing the 2 minutes. Otherwise, just hold this side plank 5 more. Breathe in. And you want to feel these core muscles here. Lower your hip. Go to the other side. And you're long and you're open. Here we go. You're strong. And stretch out through your fingers too. And you want to feel these core muscles here. So you won't feel like you're too lordotic. Come on up. Yeah, really stretch. Feel those muscles. If you put your mind on the muscles you're working, they'll fire a little bit better. Long knees, back against a wall, head against a wall. Breathe in. Nice. And then lower the hip down. Let's grab a sip for a moment. Good. We're going to do a bit more. We're going to do a little dolphin plank. Forearms down. Now, these are, I'm calling them core exercises, but this also helps your posture. When your back and your abs are stronger, it's easier to have that upright posture. So start with plank and then lift your hips back. You'll feel a little calf stretch. And then come back forward to your plank. And then lift your hips. And then go back to plank. And then lift, and your hips are going back. Good. And then you're coming into plank. Good. Feel like there's a string attached to your hips lifting you up, and then you go to plank, but you don't drop lower than parallel to the floor. Lift. 3 more. 2 more. 1 more. And then let your hips down. Here you are in a sphinx, or if you would like to add on a swan, hold. Now, when you lower this time, place your hands behind your, at your hips, not behind. So lift up your torso, lift up your arms, lift up your back. Now, we're going to add on a little posture work for those shoulders. Lift your arms 10 times higher by themselves to keep the torso up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This prevents rounded shoulders. Now, open the arms like the letter T. This is called the T. Lift your arms up 10 times in that T while your torso is still off the ground, your toes are still off the ground. 7, 8, 9. Now the Y is the last position here. Lift up the arms while keeping the torso up. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then let's take a child's pose. I'm going to open up the knees this time so the belly's right between the knees. Big diaphragmatic breath. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Shift out to your forearm plank. Now I'm going to have us lift our hips just a tiny bit higher on purpose so we have room to pull a knee under and then put it back. To pull the other knee under and put it back. Pull the knee under and put it back. Pull the knee under and put it back. 4 more like this. You're just alternating. Now take your right knee towards your left elbow, put it back. Left knee towards your right elbow. We're working a little bit more obliques now. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, a child pose. This time with your child's pose, walk your fingers far to one side, far, 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 pinky from hip. 5. You can even open up the armpit like a clamshell looking at the sun. Walk to the other side, far, far, far. Walk the pinky over, far away from the hip. Breathe in. That feels fabulous. Great. And then you can grab a sip and we'll go back out to that plank. Good job. Good. Going back out, this one's going to be a little, we call it rock and roll. So you're on your forearms, you're on your toes, get in your plank. Then dip the left hip a little bit and dip the right hip a little bit. Dip the left hip a little bit and dip the right hip a little bit. So you're just kind of rotating here a little bit at the spine. Hips dropping. 4, 3, 2. Now rest your hips. You're either on your forearms or your hands, swan or sphinx. 5. Good. You're doing great. Nice way to lower the shoulders. Now come back all the way to belly. Let your hands either be beside your hips or interlace them at your lower back. Push your palms together if you can. Lift your arms, lift your legs, lift your torso. And breathe. 10, 9. And your inhale will lift you up. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, inhale, and then relax. Now we're going to take one ankle or two ankles, 1 foot or 2 feet. Dhanurasana. Get ready. Here we go. Up. 10, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Relax for a moment. And then here we go again. Push and lift. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right. Push back, child's pose. You're doing great. Breathe in. Grab a sip. We'll do a little bit with those side planks. So you all do a lot of minutes of planks weekly, so the 2-minute standard at one time won't be any challenge. Bring your hands here at that head so it's like you have a triangle. Come to your side plank. Now we're going to leave the pelvis the same, but we're going to rotate the torso and exhale and inhale. Good. So take 10 of these. Good. 4. And you're building strength around your hip too as you leave it elevated and you don't let it sag. 6. Good. 7, 8, 9, 10. Beautiful. Lower that hip. Let's go to the other side. Your hand is near your head. And if you have any wrist issues that the wrist tends to hike backwards, you can also fold the knuckles here and that'll keep that wrist more neutral. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hot dog. Good. I want to give you a reverse plank, but you can also make it reverse table. So it is good to stimulate the wrist. We don't want to avoid them always. You do want to have some stimulus just in case you were to fall. There needs to be bone density there because that's one of the top 3 areas that people fracture. It's called a Cole's fracture. So hold. 5. Good. 4. 3. Good. 2. And then we can care for them as well. So if you just take one hand forward and pull the fingers down, you've got a stretch. I'm just sitting anyway. You can sit any way you want to. And then if you just pull your fingers down and you pull in, shoulders are down. Good. And then you've got a little opposite, so palms. Good. And then palms. Good. And this is a little wrist exercise. So place your hands flat.
You can sit however you want. Now only lift the first finger, only lift the first finger, only lift the first finger high, only lift the first finger high. Now lower it. Now only lift the middle finger. Lower everything. Everything touches. Only lift the third fingers, the right and the left, third fingers. Now lower, lift the pinky, only lift the pinky. And just notice, can you do it, or is one side harder, or is one finger harder? Lift the thumbs. Now one more time, a little bit faster. First finger, lower. Middle finger, lower. Third finger. So I'm noticing my left hand is weaker and my extensors just all together. Pinky. And my third finger's weaker than the others. And then third. So just notice what you felt. Now this one is the opposite. Flexors. Touch your thumb to first finger. And I mean, pretend you have to pinch something. I don't know. Kill a tick. I don't know. Pinch something between your thumb and your first finger. Like you have to squeeze hard. Now is it squeezing is hard on both? Now middle finger. Middle finger to thumb. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Give it, my left one I can tell is not as strong, so I'm giving it my mind some more attention. Third, squeeze, so I can feel that the whole left hand is not as strong. So just see what you feel, and then squeeze as hard as you can. Pinky. One more time through, a little bit faster. First finger. Middle finger. Squeeze. Third. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Fourth. And then just shake it out. Nice job. Good. So those are, took a little extra grip workshop. So we'll be throwing in some things like that. People lose their grip and they can't open jars, right? Or carry, you know, big, heavy groceries or something, or milk. So we're going to keep our grip. Now, the next time that you're here, you're going to be in your plank. Now, the option here is to lift your right toes, point them to the wall behind you. Now lift your left toes, and good, that was good, Catherine, and you have that little lift if you can. So lift and point so your leg comes up, you point your toes, you can lift it a bit, your left, your right. This is called leg pulls. Now try 4 more leg pulls. 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, this is gonna be an active swan. Push yourself up, inhale with your spine up. Now lower your torso, but then lift both legs. Now lift lower your legs, lift your torso, then let your hands assist. Lower your torso and lift your legs. Lift your torso, let your hands assist. Lower your torso, lift your legs. Lift your torso and lift your legs. Now leave your head down. Keep your legs up and flutter kick, hamstrings, glutes, and then tap the feet together. Now go back to flutter, and if you can, breaststroke. Big arms. 2, lift your torso. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10, and either child's pose or down dog. So the challenge here is if you just put your hands down, you push into your down dog. Hold, woo, calves. 5, 4, 3, 2. Good. Shift your weight back down to your belly. Now your hands are going to be near your temples. So your elbows look like triangles. Lift your right leg and your left shoulder and rib cage. Now, right side of your body and your left leg. So you're doing, keep going. You're doing this posterior oblique chain. And inhale, and inhale, and inhale, and inhale. And breathe, and inhale, and breathe. 4, 3, 2. Now one more like that, it's called swimming. Lengthen your arms like a Y. Right arm, left leg, left arm, right leg. Right arm, left leg, left arm, right leg. You can also continue this a little faster. All the limbs are off the floor. Inhale, inhale, exhale, exhale. 10. Lift your head a little bit, Catherine, just a little bit higher. Yep, you got it. There you go. That's it. So now we're working the neck muscles, the one that prevent rounded forward head syndrome. Okay, child pose. Woo! take a stretch. Good. Take a stretch. Did great. And we'll go up to the shins. Stretch out one leg. Take a fingertip near your ears and head on down for 10. So you want to feel some torso. Good. 4, 5, 6, 7, and yeah, dip low. Now we're going to do 8 rotations. So you dip down like you just did, but then you turn towards the leg that's out. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now 8 little pulses. So go here and do 8, 2, somewhere where it's more challenged, like lower. Now get ready, use your torso muscles to come up, switch it up. We're gonna do the other side first. Dip down. Yeah, make sure your knee's happy. You can always put more mat underneath your knee if your bones don't like the little bit of padding. You can always do more. It's always worth it to take that time. Add a rotation. Turn. Good. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, now find a little pulsing here. So 8. Now I'm gonna, without our hands, have us get to the floor any way that's comfortable. Yay! All right, open up, and this will be a rotation. Hold. This is now using your hands. 10. Open up your arms and exhale, do rotation. You do use your hands, I mean. So your hand can be on the floor and your knee. I'm gonna look at you for a minute. Yeah, you wanna be able to use leverage. 8, neck soft. You're gonna inhale and go up and over. Now one possibility is leave a hand on the floor. Another is to put your hand across. And it's already opened up. Can you feel, I feel a little bit more flexible than the very first time we did this. Rotate down. It's already less tight. And then rotate up. Breathe in. And then go to the other side. Good. So we've got this big stretch. Breathe in. Good. You're doing great. And then rotate down. This is a great stretch for the back, the shoulder, the lats. Now rotate up like you're trying to look at this beautiful sky. We're going to do one more stretch and then we're going to connect to our bands. Now this stretch is the rack. Go up, up, and then lift. So there is a softness in your elbows that you want. Breathe in. 5, 4, 3, 2, you got it. Awesome. So now grab a sip if you'd like. Grab your heaviest band you have, or 2 bands is another trick. Wrap the band around your feet heel arch, and we're gonna walk your fingers pretty far forward. Bye, sweetheart. And then bend. Yeah, bye. 2, 3, good. 4, you got it. 5. Now you want to feel your biceps. 6, and the back of your shoulders. 7, good. 8, 9, 10. All right, we've got 10 more. 11, 12, look at those postures. 13, 14. As soon as you start pulling, 15, you want to feel some tension. 16, 17, 18, 19. Now go right into rotation. So here we go. 1, 2, 3. Good. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 more, and then we'll change up the exercise. 11.
So you either have 2 bands or you have a really heavy band in your around your feet right now. So do 4 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now we're gonna, if you have a different band, we're gonna change to a more medium one. So that was heavy, so I'm getting to a more medium one. And take the legs like they're, what am I trying to say? You're like an L. All right, cross your band like an X. Put your elbows by your side and open up your forearms. There you go. That a girl. Now your elbows are closed, so we turn so you can see me from this angle. Open up the forearms, and that's external rotation. So we are doing exercises for the posture. Good. It also helps your shoulders from being rounded, and it just helps them be healthy. 5, 4, 3. Very good. All right, now I'm just going to leave our hands down and move your shoulders here. And just a quick note, since it's so sunny, make sure not to leave the bands in a sunny spot. It'll break them down. So you want to inspect them every now and then for cracks. And you can put a powder on them to help maintain them, or wipe off any sweat or oils or lotion that you might have on them from your workouts. So you're going to be just trying to make sure they don't snap while you're using them, right? So pull, pull, pull. Now this is like you're as tall as you can be. Your neck is a swan, but your arms are low. You want to feel like even the return has some intensity. 5, 4, good. 3, 2, and 1. Now we're going to do another one for biceps. So you could do a scoop dab position, bend your elbows, and then exhale. Now, if you have osteoporosis, you can also just do this upright. If it's too easy, lift your elbows. If it's too hard, lower your elbows. Good. Another way, you could just grab more band. So let's take 10 more. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Woo! Good job. All right, grab a sip. Looking good. Since we're on the ground, we're going to mix this up and do some chest presses. So you're going to take hand weights that let you be on the ground and push up. So it's probably going to be around 8 to 10 pounds, or 6 to 10 pounds in each. You're going to be lying back. I like the feet on the ground because it really helps the ribs stay connected. So take an inhale, 1 hand weight in each. Now exhale and push up. Good. And inhale, lower a couple inches. Your elbows are a couple inches from your ribs. They're not glued to it unless you have an old shoulder injury, and that's a safer position for you. But they could be a little bit open from your ribs if you don't have an injury you're working with. Push, push. 5, 6, 7. And if your neck isn't comfortable, you can use a pillow or a folded up towel to make sure your neck gets comfortable. Feel the ribs on the mat. And we're going to take 10 more. 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, and you're resisting on the way down. 7, so that gravity's not just yanking you down. 8, you can feel that difference. 9 and 10. Now, the hand weights are going to just be beside you. You're going to reach through your fingers overhead and reach through your legs long. Shift through your waist. Stretch that body like you're climbing a ladder. 5. Good. Everyone looks good. You look like your space is good. This next one is a little bit more open in the arms. So make sure, like me, I'm going to move away from my wall a little bit. You're going to take those weights that were slightly lighter, and you're going to be touching them at the top. So they're over your sternum, but they're touching. Now, like a circle, your arms are like a circle, or a big sequoia tree, a big hug open the arms and then hug until the weights touch. Open, the upper arm will probably touch the floor, and you're maintaining that circle though. And did you feel how the ribs might want to try to come off the floor, but you're going to keep them gently down, not slammed down, but gently down. And open and close. Good. Open and close. Good. 5 more. And then when you're at 20, let go, full body stretch. Woo! Shift through your hips, shift through your arms, your legs. And then see if you can give yourself a challenge to sweep up without pushing your hands on the floor. Just come up with your abs. Woo! Nice job. Grab a sip. We're going to be standing up and doing some more bands. So let me move these out of the way. I do like to make sure there's a clear path. You don't want to set yourself up. You want to set yourself up for safety. So when you stand, you're going to do a hand weight that lets you go out to the side like a letter T. Oh, my Mac needs to be moved back. Okay, so like a letter T, you're going to go out. So I'm going to guess it's, for most people, it's between 3 and 7 pounds. Good. There you go. Good. There's those shoulders. And notice how your wrists are neutral. They're not flexed or extended. They're like a piece of plywood's in there. Nice. 10 more. Well, hi, doggies. 10. 9. Go ahead. 8. So what happens is they hear Erin milking the goats, and they always get the last little bit of fresh milk from the goats. So when they hear that, they run outside to go get their milk. That's what you happen to see them running for. 5, 4. I can see you better now, Catherine. Terrific. 3, 2, 1 more. And 1. Now we're going to lower these down. We are going to use them again, so just keep them handy. And then interlace your fingers at the low back. Now you're opening up your shoulders in a stretch, and you can take a tree pose, maybe low, maybe high. So hold, 10, 2, 3. This is a one-legged balance for that glute and a shoulder stretch. So we're doing 2 things at once. Also, you're trying to be really tall. All right, we're going to do the other leg. So it might be that it's easier for you to help your foot up and then do the interlaced fingers. Go into a stretch and a one-legged balance. A tall sternum. 5. Good. There you go. 4. Modification would be leave your toes near the floor. 3. That's okay. We're all working at it. 2. And then let that go. Really good. Now this one is going to be an overhead press, so it's going to look like this. So you could do anywhere probably from a 3 to 8 pound weight, and you might end up doing 2 weights, and I'll show you what I mean. You might start with 1. It feels too heavy after 10 reps, so you change it. So start and then lower. Now I like it. You're in control when you lower it. You're not letting it just yank down with gravity. Good. You have a little ab tone. Good. That's it. Your knees are long but soft. You're not letting them go backwards or hyperextend. 6. When you lift up, that's where your low back could get too arched, so you've got a little ribs pull down sensation with your abs, not your glutes, because that's that can jam the SI, but your abs are helping you. Keep your ribs over your pelvis. Now shoot for 10 more, but let's say you feel like this weight's getting too heavy, just grab a lighter weight and finish out the set. There you go, that was great. Especially as you get stronger, you might end up not needing the same weight. You might end up having to do 2 weights. Okay, we're doing 5 more. 5. Good, I like the way you're lengthening both elbows. Right there, 4, very good. You wanna feel it. You may not be able to see what's going on. 3, so you feel it. You get in touch with proprioception. 2, kinesthetic cues. And 1. Now, that's it. Now, you carefully lower so you don't hyperextend your elbows. We can take it back down. Now, this one, actually, let's grab a sip first. This one is a cow face stretch, so hold on to your fingers. And here's our goal. Take a leg 3 kicks forward without touching, 3 kicks back, side and back. I said that wrong. You knew what I meant. And then lower that foot and change your hands. Here comes the sun through the junipers. All right. The leg goes 3 kick forward, 3 kick side, 3 kick back. You're also strengthening those thigh muscles. And then relax. Really good job. All right, just kind of shake it out, get rid of any tension. We're gonna do a front raise. Now, front raise looks like this. So probably what you used on the lateral raise or 1 pound lighter. So somewhere between 3 and 8, I'd say. And there's a trick here too. So go forward and then resist. And that was the trick though, Jean. You knew what I was gonna say. A trick could be that you just alternate arms, right, left, right, left. Good. Neck soft. 5. 6. Neck soft. 7. You want to see how your whole body is working to keep you balanced. Weight training is what, according to Dr. Peter Attia's research team, is the #1 best thing you can do to prevent dementia. The whole body's thinking, the whole body's integrated, muscles, bones, nervous system, breath. Good. And we know that muscle mass is related to bone density. So here we are building muscle and bone. We've got this. 4, 3. It's kind of like you're going down through molasses on a cold day. You're slowly lowering. 1 more. You got it. Let that down. Very good. Very good. Grab a sip. We're going to get 8 to 12 ounces during our class. And let me give us one stretch that looks like an interlaced finger and a warrior 3. Lift your foot, and if you can, go to parallel. 10, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Come back up, and then we're going to do the other leg. So inhale, lift one leg up either a little bit, or if you can, go parallel. 10, 2, balance, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, and then come back up. And this is called knocking on the door of life. Release tension from the whole body and the mind. Exhales also do that, a strong exhale. Nice. And we're going to take a tricep overhead press next. So it's going to be usually 2 hand weights, like let's say 2 5s, or it could be 1 10-pound weight or 1 12-pound weight. So usually 2, I'll say smaller, or 1 bigger. So if you're, let's say you take 2 of them, let's say you took 2 6-pounds, then you would push it up. Yeah, now if you didn't have weights, you were traveling, you could always just use your band for this. 4, good. 5, that's it. 6, Yep. Yeah, if there's any shoulder tension, you can always separate the weights a little bit and just be mindful of where the weights are. Now try to lengthen right here. Lengthen towards the sky. Lengthen. Yes, that's it. Lengthen. All right, last 5. 17. And if you needed to, you could change weights. 18, 19, 20. Now carefully, yes, sometimes it's easy to just throw the weights down, but carefully lower those down. Grab a sip. We're going to do prayer pose as a stretch. Now the first prayer pose is this, like you're trying to separate your hands low. You should feel a forearm stretch. And our hands do so much for us, so we want to take care of them. This is a stretch that takes care of them. But if you can add on, do prayer pose behind you. You guys are going to have to tell me if you can still see me with all the juniper. I'll have to lower the shades or something if it's not. So palms behind. Try to touch all the hand together and work the hand up. Good. And then a little sway. So little shake. Good. We are going to do a bent over row. So it's going to look like, it's going to look like this with one hand weight picking up. Now it's a heavier weight, so I'd say anywhere, if you have a 10 or an 8, that would be good. And only one hand's going to have it. So I'm going to show you with my right foot forward and my right hand on my thigh. Now the word bent over, you're still straight in the back. You're just at an angle. Yep. 3. Good. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. I'm going to turn to you. 9, 10, 11. Good. 12. I always think of starting a lawnmower on this. 13. Biceps back. 14. And rear deltoids. 15. Good. 16. Your gaze is somewhere that helps your neck feel safe and not congested. 17. 18. 19. Now I'm going to stand up so the back has a break and then switch hands. So now the other hand, take your left foot forward, left hand on the thigh, and here we go. Pull. 1, 2. Good. 3, 4. And then Jean, if you want, you could switch which legs in front so your hand's easier to find that thigh. So you're here. You could do this if you want. Yeah. Or switch your legs only. It doesn't matter. You're doing good. And 11. But I like how everybody's back is long. And 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. And you're breathing. And 18. Good job. Guys, take that hand weight down for a moment. And then this is half moon. So one arm over, but if you can, cross the leg. If that's too hard, just leave the foot here. But otherwise, 5, 4. Isn't that so good? 3. Oh, I love the stretch. That looks great. Let's go to the other side. I love it. So look how nice that is for the whole lateral chain. Your hip, your back. That a girl, Karen. I like that variation where you just pull your elbow, your arm. Breathe in. So good. And then let that go. So we'll just do a sway. I'm going to add on from here a bicep curl, and it's just a basic curl, but I want you to be ready to go pick vegetables from your favorite farmer and pick up a lot of potatoes. So grab a weight that lets you do a bicep curl. I'm going to be changing mine. All right, so you bend your elbows and you lower. Now make sure your elbows don't go backwards. If you're built hypermobile in some joints, you'll know it, but you want to make sure especially that your knees aren't going backwards and your elbows. Good. So you can pick up lots of cantaloupes and watermelons and potatoes.
Good. And you notice how I'm just controlling it on the way down? We're trying not to fling because gravity would take over. Good. And you notice how your back's not shifting forward and back. You've got control in your core. Good. Knees soft. Breath. You're breathing through your nose. And you're exhaling out of your nose. Mm-hmm. Our intention is to do 5 more. So if it were getting too hard, you could do right, left, or you could switch out the weight to a slightly lighter weight. That's called a drop set, and then you would keep going. So I'm shooting for 3 more. Good. I like how you're doing hammer if you need to. Hammer curl's another option because you want to analyze, do my joints feel good? There she is. So I wonder if you're having internet trouble. Catherine, yep. And then that may have been why it was spinning the other day. Lower those down, guys. Very good. Grab a sip. So I'm craving that we drink at least 8 ounces, right? Now this stretch is elbow, and it's more of a tricep stretch, but we're gonna do it anyway. 5. You can add a half moon to it where you hold onto your elbow. So grab your hand to your elbow and pull it over. And grab your hand to your other elbow and pull it over. It's a mind exercise to figure out which elbow to have and which way to bend, right? Inhale. And then come back up, little release of tension. So grab a dynaband that I would say is at least medium. And we're going to put that band behind your head like you're shaving the back of your head. So this looks familiar, doesn't it? Because we did it with hand weights, but triceps are so important. I want to make sure we get them. So push up, they will catch you. If you fall and you put your arm out, the tricep has to be strong to catch you. And you try to lengthen your elbow all the way up. So we really need strong triceps. It's very easy to get weak in the arms because everything's automated in life. So we got to go after the upper body. And we're doing it. 12. That looks good. I see everybody's elbow is lengthening well. 13. 14. Now we want to feel fatigue on these last 5. Like, oh, I could barely do more. 3 more. It's feeling harder. If you need to make it easier, give yourself more slack. 2, so it feels really hard for me. And 1. Woo! This arm needs a little blood flow. Shaky, shaky. Switchy, switchy. One hand's back. One hand's at the lumbar. All right, get set up and try to lengthen your elbow. Try to lengthen your elbow. Yep. And tall. And put your mind on that muscle. If you give attention to the muscles you're working, they will contract better. They will fire better. 8. 9. 10. So natural to stretch after you wake up. 11. 12. Try to lengthen. 13. Your elbow. 14. Hang in there. It should be getting to where it's challenging now. Like, oh, I wonder if I can finish. 17. Try to finish with fatigue. 18. So it's harder. Lengthen. 19. And then 20. Woo! Let that go. I want to give us one of my favorite stretches. Go wide. And the same band will be fine. And go up and behind. Now, when you do this, your wrist, make sure they're not just kicking backwards. You put a little piece of plywood in there. And up. Oh, let's add the breath. Breathe in. And out. And breathe in. And out. And breathe in. And we're going to hold 3 different places. So here's one of them. It's like a Y. Here's another, like a T-ish. There's no wrong way. I just want you to
have a few different references, and then a lower one. And that's so good. Nice. Let that go. Really good. I want to give us another plank for abs, another swan or type movement. So you're going to go down to the floor, and either on your forearms or your hands, you're going to do a plank and hold. This is for your abs. A modification would be to go to your knees. Otherwise, hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Now push up. Swan. 10, 5, good. And then lower, and you're going to take your arms beside your hips and lift everything up 10 times. 2, if that's too easy, put your arms like a Y. 3, lift everything up. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10. One quick child's pose. Breathe in. And then come to a stand. Try not to use your hands. Stand and feel 4 corners of your feet in balance. Knees long but soft, arms open, shoulder blades down, ear in line with the shoulder from the side, sternum lift. Oh, and I feel sunshine on my on my front side of my body. So I want you to notice how good it feels. We're alive. Every day is a blessing. Our body is working. Our mind is here. Our spirit's here. We're going to take an intention to really appreciate the power of being here alive with so much appreciation to you. Thank you so much.